Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For this video, I'm going to be reacting to SpongeBob scenes that are different in other countries. Um, yeah, I guess because we all know SpongeBob is a crazy show. They have like so many random things that happen in that show. So, I'm not surprised that they had to change some things because other countries have like different culture and also different things that they want to show their kids. So since this is a kids show, they have to like switch it up for the kids. But yeah, I want to see what they had to change, and yeah, let's get into this video. And please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below.
Did you know that in certain countries, Patrick and SpongeBob are considered literally a danger to society?
It doesn't seem right.
Yeah, isn't SpongeBob gay too? Because I know a lot of countries are homophobic.
Modified so that certain episodes could be aired outside the U.S. SpongeBob SquarePants is definitely one of the most popular cartoons in the world, although it is not universally loved. For instance, in the episode Squidville, we witness a terrible incident where Squidward tries to sell his, in quotation marks, artworks at the Krusty Krab, which doesn't go so well until an art appraiser shows up. Mr. Krab sees an opportunity to make a lot of money and decides to remove Squidward from circulation, literally, by sending him to extremely dangerous places. And this entire scene was cut in the United Kingdom because, well, that's not the right way to treat an employee, especially over money. Right, folks?
Okay, that's interesting because it's just a cartoon.
Well, that was disgusting.
Apart from this
It's not a
scene,
real life
we
situation.
also have found other instances that you may have no
Especially
idea
UK.
have been
I
altered
thought they would be
or
more
even
open-minded.
removed in other countries. Jellyfish jam. We all know that SpongeBob likes to do some pretty strange things in his free time, but that's okay because it's his prerogative, right? And one of the things he loves to do is hunt jellyfish. But in the
Jellyfishing.
7th episode of the first season, a jellyfish follows him home and becomes, as he puts it, his new pet. So they go home and simply throw a rave-style party, complete with everything. Music, lots of lights, and of course, plenty of dancing. And for this reason, this episode was completely prohibited from airing in Poland. Not because of the content itself, but because of the light show, which they claim could affect photosensitive or epileptic children.
Then, yeah, that's fine.
It's a shame, because seeing SpongeBob dancing with a jellyfish is truly
Like,
insanely
that's a good
fun.
reason to,
Something
like,
Smells.
edit
The
a show
22nd
or
episode
ban
of the
it or
second
something.
season, called Something Smells, is the famous episode where SpongeBob decides to make a sundae with ingredients that don't have the most pleasant smell, like ketchup, slightly rotten peanuts, and onions. Oh my, it gives him the worst breath in history, and it simply repels everyone around him. And Patrick, who has
Wait,
no
they
sense of
banned-
smell,
who banned
thinks
this?
it's because of SpongeBob's ugliness.
Just because you're ugly.
Ugly? You gotta be kidding me.
But you know what's funny? The scene that was cut from the cartoon in the UK and Ireland was exactly when SpongeBob was cutting the onions to make the weird sundae. The reason? He was cutting the onions with his eyes closed. That's why the scene was considered dangerous and could encourage children to have accidents with knives at home. Help wanted. For example,
that's the
did you
parents'
know
fault.
that the first episode of the show called
Tell your kids not
Help
to touch
Wanted
knives.
had a segment that needed to be cut to air in a European country. In this introductory episode, besides getting to know some of the most important characters in the show, we see Bob's first day of work at the Krusty Krab. And after a horde of hungry fish invades Mr. Krab's
Dang, it seems like most of these are from the first
we see
season. Like,
SpongeBob making
what
lots
else
of
did they ban
Krabby
from the other
Patties in
seasons?
a triumphant entrance with his hydrodynamic spatula. The detail is that in the background, a song by singer Tiny Tim is playing.
Yeah, I remember this.
And that part, with the music, was simply cut in Italy. Why? We have no idea, but it surely has something to do with either the music or the singer Tiny Tim, the caterpillar.
Interesting.
In this episode of the second
You know,
season,
I'm pretty
we see
sure they
Patrick and
also,
Bob having to
like,
take care
banned
of Sandy's
the
pets for a while.
episode
One of
where
those
him and
pets
Patrick
is a
were like
little
wrestling and
caterpillar.
stuff because they're
They
like
have
holding hands at
fun
the
and
end.
play with the little one, and at a certain point,
I wonder if
while
it's on this
playing,
list.
The song "That's What Friends Do" is played.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted, so I'm gonna talk over the music and
However, that song was completely cut in the version that aired in Italy. It seems that in the land of pasta, They really don't like songs played in SpongeBob
Dang.
SquarePants. If
Italy
you know the reason, comment below.
banning,
We really want to find out
or
why.
cutting out
The evil
stuff because of
Patty.
music.
In another episode of SpongeBob, we see SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs deciding to make a very strange burger for an inspector. And in a particular scene, we get a close-up of the burger. We can see some grotesque details, as if the burger itself had boils, lumps, and other weird things. This burger, let's say, is bizarre. I think everyone agrees.
That's the most diabolical Krabby Patty ever spawned.
But probably because it was considered too disgusting, the scene was deleted in Albania. Indeed, this is not for those with a more sensitive stomach. It even
Okay, I
made me
can
feel a bit queasy.
see
Sandy,
why,
in some
like,
cases, it's not scenes that are
some people might
modified,
have, like,
but
trypophobia
entire
or something.
characters, at least in some moments.
I do,
And
but
this
that
happens
wasn't that bad
mainly
for
in
me.
some countries where certain behaviors common in the West are considered inappropriate. One of these countries is Iran, which for a while tried to prevent the full broadcast of Western shows on its television channels. Since that idea didn't work out very well, they decided to allow the shows again, but with modifications that would make the program more suitable for Iranians. And that's what happened with Sandy's character. She, who is female, normally has two different outfits. The most common one is her astronaut suit, which we always see her wearing. But we also see her when she's in her oxygen-filled home, dressed in a bikini. However, women are currently not allowed to wear bikinis in Iran. For this reason, every time Sandy appeared dressed in that way, Iranian TV made some modifications, dressing her in a long dress that goes past the knees, as directed by the Muslim
I'm surprised they
religion.
didn't
That's
just
why not
ban the
just
whole
one,
show,
but
because
several scenes in SpongeBob
there
where
must be a lot
Sandy
of work
appears
to edit
are
all those
modified in Iran.
scenes.
Fan geeks. In the second season, we have one of the most memorable episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants. In episode 35, Fan Geeks, we see Squidward's rival, Squilliam, who sort of challenges his former colleague. So Squidward decides to form and conduct a band with everyone he knows from Bikini Bottom. After a while, they will perform on the surface at a football game. Do you realize how crazy
Let me
that
guess,
is?
did Italy ban
But
it
it's
because
okay,
of the
because it's just
song?
another episode of SpongeBob. In their absolutely incredible musical performance at the stadium, they sing and play the rock song Sweet Victory. For this reason, at least I believe, this entire segment that includes the song was completely cut in Iran and Italy.
Of course, Italy. Like, I wonder why Italy doesn't like these songs in their
It seems that they
shows
don't appreciate music in cartoons
or
over
cartoons.
there, especially if it's rock. Help wanted. We go back to the first episode of SpongeBob once again. This time, another scene was deleted in a different country. When jumping off the diving board inside his own room, which is kind of eccentric, SpongeBob says to Gary that he's naked and jumps, leaving his underwear behind and immediately landing in his usual uniform. And it's precisely for this reason that the scene was deleted in Indonesia, the country with the largest Muslim population in the world. The language was considered somewhat inappropriate, and therefore it was cut from the editing before being broadcasted. SpongeBob versus the Big One. In the 11th episode of the
They're like
sixth
these
season,
cultural ones. They make
very
sense because it's part of your
interesting
culture.
This episode,
But like some
in
of
the
them,
United
like the
States,
music, is
was
like
called
that's
SpongeBob
interesting.
versus the Big One. Patrick, Squidward, and SpongeBob end up on an island full of somewhat strange surfers, and they spend the rest of the episode trying to return to Bikini Bottom. But in order to do that, they simply need to pass through the Big One, a giant wave. But what's strange about the episode? This time, nothing. But the title was changed in several countries. In Poland, Spain, and Brazil, they thought it would be better to adapt the title of the episode. They changed it to SpongeBob versus the Big Wave. In Germany, they changed it to Surfer M Start. In Australia, Lithuania, and Latvia, the title was changed to Kahuna Laguna's Secret. It seems that the term the Big One didn't make much sense in those places, hence the change. Nosferatu. In a moment of the series,
Interesting.
we have kind of a horror story throughout
Oh
one of
yeah,
the
this
Halloween
one
episodes.
had that creepy
After
guy
receiving a
turning
phone call
the
with a
lights on and
strange
off.
Voice, which turned out to be a customer placing an order, we see something strange happening. At the same time, the lights of the Krusty Krab kept flickering. In the end, they discovered that the one flickering the lights as a prank was none other than Nosferatu, a terrifying and alternative version of Count Dracula from the 1920s. And that's exactly why the scene with this classic character from horror movies was cut in China, because there, it was considered too scary for younger viewers. Scaredy Pants SpongeBob. In another Halloween episode, we see that the Flying Dutchman is tormenting and scaring everyone. So SpongeBob has the brilliant idea of scaring everyone at the Krusty Krab. He asks Patrick to trim his sponges with a razor,
Yeah, and then his
only
brain.
eyes and brain. Certainly, this is one of the most bizarre scenes in SpongeBob of all time. But actually, it wasn't the end result that was deleted. As strange as it is to see someone walking around with their brain exposed, it was the scene where Patrick is shaving SpongeBob that was considered dangerous in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Do you remember watching any of these episodes? Did you like any of them?
That's interesting. That I guess UK, they want to censor like violent or weird looking things, but I guess cursing is allowed on TV like after a certain time. But yeah, compared to America, like I guess America doesn't mind showing the kids weird things, but like cursing is not allowed on TV, unlike regular TV, unpaid TV. But yeah, that's interesting. And yeah, there has to be a lot more. Most of these were like from the first season, so I'm pretty sure SpongeBob got crazier as they went along. But yeah, maybe there's another video I'll check out in the future. But that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Let me know what else I should react to in the comments below. And if you want to see my experiences in Korea, you can check out my first channel, SEKSHI. And if you want to see my other socials, it's right here under my face. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.